So, when you go online and you do research about what's going on, and you come across Governor Huckabee Sanders from Arkansas, and you see the type of laws that she's putting in place, I mean, and makes statements like it's not even about left and right anymore. You ever hear a Democrat say something like that? Always something bad. She's just talking common sense right here with these laws. And I get it. Republicans got to do what they got to do too, and it's annoying. But culture, a boy in high school should not be able to earn a scholarship, a female scholarship to college. That don't make no sense. It's biologically unfair. Eventually, there won't be any female sport. And then what do we call it? Like this, we talking about rights here don't make no sense. When you compete against a female and you're both training, you're crushing her. It's that simple. Period. It's not fair. And to even get up on a podium and be happy that you just crushed the competition, what are we doing? Like 18 and younger, like the conversation's over. Stop. They're really like that's crazy. When you get to 18 and you change your gender, that's your choice to make. I think you should be able to have that choice. But you can't compete against a female. You can identify as a female and compete against men because that's what your chemicals say. But in public areas, what I got nothing, no hate, none, nothing. But not wanting you to play in a female sport is not hate. It's just common sense. And now we got to make laws about it. What? How does Title IX go from 37 words to over 400,000? Title IX's 50 years old. I know things change, but who changed it? Biden, a career politician. Let's see what the senator has to say, or excuse me, the governor. God, so high in power.
I am to celebrate these important, but as proud as I am to celebrate these important wins, like most Arkansans are, frankly, I'm appalled at what is coming out of Washington. I've said before that the dividing line in this country is no longer between right and left. It's between normal and crazy. And the most recent attack on common sense came from President Biden's Department of Education and their total rewrite of Title IX. When Title IX was first written, it was 37 words long. The message was simple. Men and women deserve equal access to higher education. In the 52 years since, there have been several beneficial additions, guaranteeing equal access to college athletics, establishing due process for harassment cases, and so on. However, last month, President Biden released a reinterpretation of Title IX that comes in at an insane 459,000 words.
Pause. We got to pause for a second. Riley Gaines is a beautiful young lady. The fact that she had to compete against a man is just crazy to me. We need to we need to talk about her. You know, she's kind of special. She spoke up. Okay.
It's a document that should scare every woman and frankly, every man in America. Title IX was created to protect women, but Biden's Title IX attempts to erase women completely. According to the rule, sex is no longer based on the commonly understood biological differences between men and women. It's based on how a person feels or their gender identity. To put it another way, Biden thinks anybody can be a woman just because they say so. As a woman, the mother of a daughter, and our state's first chief executive to give birth, thankfully not while in office, I can't think of anything more offensive or dismissive of the very real, very scientific traits that all women share and that no man does. I find myself asking, where are all the so-called feminists? Women fought for so long to have equal access to sports and higher education. Are we really going to throw that all away in the name of political correctness? Walk down any street in Arkansas, from Little Rock to Mountain Home, and ask someone the difference between a man and a woman. You will probably get a pretty straightforward answer. But apparently, our leaders in Washington can't tell the difference anymore. It would be laughable if it weren't so threatening. That's because the rule doesn't change just language on a paper. It could have a very real impact on Arkansas colleges and universities. If Biden gets his way, female college students will shower and change next to male college students. Referring to someone using biologically correct pronouns will get you hauled in front of a disciplinary board for harassment. And scholarships previously reserved for women will now be open to anyone claiming to be a woman. My message to Joe Biden and the federal government is that we will not comply. Thanks to the hard work of our legislators, Arkansas already has several common sense laws on the books that directly contradict President Biden's new Title IX rule. Those include Act 317, ensuring sex segregated bathrooms and sleeping quarters, the Fairness in Women's Sports Act, which keeps men out of women's sports, and the Given Name Act, which protects educators' right to free speech when addressing a student. That's the law in Arkansas, and we will enforce it. In a moment, I'll sign an executive order reiterating our laws and instructing our educational institutions and the Arkansas Department of Education to follow them. And if President Biden threatens our state with loss of educational funding because we refuse to go along with his election year pandering, Arkansas will take the federal government to court. That's because this issue goes far beyond a single locker room or a missed scholarship. The truth is important. Biology is important. The differences between men and women are important. Title IX was created because of those fundamental truths, and for half a century has allowed women and girls to access colleges, sports, and scholarships that were previously unavailable. We won't let Biden threaten that, and we certainly will not let him erase our existence as women.
No.
Across the country, young women and girls are showing all of us how to be brave.
Let's go.
They are leading this fight,
Let's go.
and I'm happy to join them in standing up against the left's war on women. In West Virginia, 5 middle school girls were just banned from school sports when they refused to compete against a boy. Here in Arkansas, track athlete Ainsley Erzin joined a lawsuit against the NCAA to uphold fairness in women's sports. It is absurd that in America, we have adults like President Biden who are more afraid of their radical base than these young women. With us today, we have Riley Gaines, a 12-time All-American swimmer with 5 SEC titles. and one of the bravest voices speaking out on this issue. If the weak men running the White House had half the courage of Riley, our country would be in a much better place.
Riley must be busy. She was on the phone in the middle of this press conference on the phone. She busy. That's what I mean. And she's 25. 25-year-olds are on the phone a lot. Yeah. And she's probably important. Very important. She is important. Another example of a Republican and not being aggressive either, just left, right. It's not really about this. It's common sense. I mean, like, wow. It's nice to hear. Skelly in the back. Let's go Meg. We gotta go.